Joining us now is a guy who has a tremendous amount of experience in the media, not as much as me, but nobody does because I'm very old. But Dan Abrams, you know him, was at NBC. He's still at ABC as a legal correspondent. He runs a website called Mediaite, where they write about media every day. He was on News Nation until recently. The guy knows the media. So number one question, is the media, the linear media, corporate media, losing power in America?
Absolutely. That's an easy one. The mainstream media, the media that you and I grew up on, has definitely lost influence. It's lost viewers. It's lost its power. It doesn't mean it's powerless. It's still influential, but just doesn't have anything like the sort of influence that it once had. And I think, by the way, I think that applies to the Associated Press as well. I mean, AP used to, you know this, AP used to be the thing, right? AP sends something out, it goes to everyone, everywhere, all over the world. Well, now everything goes to everyone all over the world.
That's right. Now, why are they losing power so rapidly? I know there's more competition with the social media, but I believe it has to do with partisanship. That people, and all the surveys show this, they don't trust the media anymore. It's in business to preach to the choir, tell people what they want to hear. I think that's the main reason for the decline.
I think it's a combination. I think it is definitely the medium. It is the fact that people can get information elsewhere. They don't have to turn on NBC.
But why wouldn't you turn it on if you liked it?
Yeah, you might.
Yeah,
but you might.
If you liked it,
right?
Come on.
But you might prefer to hear more of what you want to hear on a daily basis. And I will say that the major loss for the mainstream media has been among conservatives. There is no doubt about that.
Well, wait a minute. There's two networks that are 100% conservative, Fox and Newsmax.
Yes, correct. And I think that the ABCs and CBSs, and put aside cable for a moment, right? The broadcast networks, the places that everyone used to get their news from, the folks who are on the right will now very often go to someone like Bret Baier on Fox News to get that quote-unquote newscast. Or they'll go to folks like you, by the way, who are on their own, independent, not beholden to a bigger entity. And they'll say, you know what? I like O'Reilly. What does he have to say about this? I think people now have a lot more choices than they ever had before. And I think that has made a huge difference in, these guys used to be the gatekeepers. It was all about, if you weren't, you couldn't get someone to cover it, then the story faded. Now there's a whole host of opportunities and options to get someone to get a story, your take, whatever it is out there.
I think Trump destroyed the media. And he did it passively, not actively. Obviously, this AP thing was active. He doesn't like them. He doesn't like NBC, in particular, those two. But by hating Trump as much as MSNBC, NBC News, CNN, by hating him, viscerally hating him, to this day, to this moment, fair-minded Americans, not ideologues, makes us uneasy. Am I wrong?
I think you're right. Look, I think there is, people use the term Trump derangement syndrome, right? And, either people on the right use it and say it with a sort of a smile and a snicker, and people on the left say, there's no such thing. But the truth is there is such thing. There really is this sense on the part of some. They are so angry at Trump all the time that they just can't do what they're supposed to do in a remotely objective way. Now, I will say this in defense of some of the folks on the left, is that Donald Trump has gone into this Trump 2, his second effort here, and has definitely taken more extreme measures and positions than he did in Trump 1. And as a result, if you are someone who is there's no such thing as objectivity, pure objectivity. Let's call it, so you're somewhere right of center, left of center, right? And the guy who's in power is taking positions that are pretty extreme in a lot of ways, you're gonna be calling him out. And as a result, you're going to hear more criticism of Trump than you might of another Republican in that role.
All right.
And the same way, by the way, if you had AOC or Elon Omar, and I'm not saying that they're apples to
No, it
apples
wouldn't be at
there.
the same level, though. It wouldn't be at the same
It would.
level.
I think that's fair. I think you're right. It wouldn't be at the same
The
level.
corporate media tried to re-elect the Biden administration through Kamala Harris. They tried everything. That 60 Minutes thing is a legitimate thing. They tried to help her. And
oh, come on. You think that 60 Minutes thing was really a big deal?
I saw that transcript. I saw how they edited it, and they did not have to edit it that way. They tried
how do we
to
know
make
that
her
they
look,
edited it? We know they edited it because they put it out
admit
themselves.
They admit they
They
edited
put it out in two different forms. They put
had
out
to.
one, they put out the other. They didn't have to.
Oh,
They
yeah,
put out
they
one
did.
as a tease on Face the Nation. They put out the other on 60 Minutes. They were doing it because they just thought, oh, these are two, different
Dan,
ways of getting the same thing.
How long did it take for 60 Minutes to put that transcript out?
That was the mistake. The mistake was not releasing.
Thank you.
But now that we've seen it, it wasn't that big a deal.
I've edited.
It's typical editing.
You and I have edited thousands of pieces. I never would have edited my piece that way. In a million years, I wouldn't have.
I didn't find that editing to be that disturbing.
Right.
I didn't find it to be disturbing at all. But
I think they absolutely, and then subsequently every week on 60 Minutes, they just bash Trump. Just bash him.
Well,
every week.
That's true. That's true.
And
I
see,
mean, look.
Once that happens, and that's the top of the line. 60 Minutes with Mike Wallace, Morley Safer, Don Hewitt, top of the line. Once that happens, then regular folks go, something wrong with it. Now, I'm going to be on your show tomorrow. Tell people where they can find that, because I'll do more talking there, which would be much better for everybody. Where can we find that?
You can find it on SiriusXM on the POTUS channel at 2 o'clock, but also the video of it will be on the Mediaite YouTube page, which we are now building out. And, part of the build out is to get Bill O'Reilly on the show.
Well, we're doing the same thing.
I'm going to say something about Bill O'Reilly. I said this to Bill O'Reilly privately. I said this to my team at News Nation privately. There is no one better at broadcasting in the business than Bill O'Reilly. I've said it to my team. So this is no secret, but I believe it. And I'd be wondering, when I was thinking about you talking about the AP, you were saying they've never said anything good about you. I did wonder what good they could have said about you. But, yeah. Anyway.
Well, they could have said what you just said.
Exactly, but it's true.
Somehow they missed it.
They missed it. All
right, Abrams.
It's a fact.
We'll rock and roll tomorrow. We appreciate you coming on tonight.
Look forward to it.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.